Welcome to Triple H, Hamilton Happy Hour, where we talk about pianos, talk about music, and everything else in between. Everybody, welcome back to Hamilton Happy Hour Triple H. Once again, we have Mike and Mike. What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good evening, everybody.
M&M.
And we have Starr Taylor, who is a technician in the Tampa area. Welcome, Starr.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Happy to be
Welcome,
here. Yeah.
Yep, we appreciate it. And so Starr and I have been friends, but a little over a year now, right?
over a year,
You know,
yeah.
We met at a convention,
We did.
PTG convention.
Yeah, Reno.
Yep, and we hung out. We went out to lunch.
We did.
And stuff. And then you invited me to do a class at the Steinway Piano Gallery in
Yes.
Clearwater.
Yeah, we had a one-day seminar.
Yep.
And,
Yep, and that was fun.
That's right. I forgot. That was kind of your first collaboration on doing anything, right?
Yeah.
that's,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of them.
So we did that, and then we met at the other convention. Recently, we just did last week.
Yeah, Des Moines, Iowa. Yes. Yeah.
Saw that one, and we've been friends ever since. And then you came to the shop today for the first time.
I did. I'm so happy to be here. It's an awesome place. You got a great team. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really do. I'm not saying it. 'cause it's our
Here's your
team.
money.
Okay.
We really fooled him, didn't we?
All right, everybody, come out.
The show's over, folks. Thank you very much.
So why did you get into the piano business?
I was a machinist out of high school, and I was pretty sick of my job. And I was at my mom's for dinner one night. There was a Steinway in the front room that I didn't even consider the piano. I was a guitar player. And so she said, why don't you get Andy, the piano tuner, who I just talked to the day on the phone on the way down here. He's in a nursing home. He got me started.
Nice.
And so I spent about a year and a half with him, and I didn't learn a whole lot. Lousy teacher, but he got me into business, and I've got my tools, and then that's how I got started. And a year and a half with him, walked in to quit my job. Hey, boss, man, I'm quitting. You can't quit. We got to finish this job. And I said, well, I want $10 an hour in straight days. And I got this long look. Okay. And so 2 months later, I'm making $400 a week instead of the $8 an hour. And then I moved to Florida '87 and went to work for a pretty sleazy dealer in St. Pete. But I got to make mistakes there. So I worked for that guy for a year and then followed a salesman somewhere else. He opened a business, and we got to work on a bunch of old stuff.
Now, let me get this right. There was a sleazy piano dealer in the 80s.
No kidding, man. Yeah. they were everywhere, man. They were freaking everywhere.
That's hard to believe.
Well, thank God they're all gone.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, where did you come from?
Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah, a little farm town, Rockville, Indiana.
Rockville, Indiana.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a little
All right.
place. And,
Where is that? North, south, east, west?
so if you go to Indianapolis and
Yep.
you look at the map and you go straight west 70 miles, there's Rockville.
Okay.
And US 41 and 36 intersect in my little town. Gas station on every corner. 2,500 people when my parents came back there in '66. And it's still 2,500 people. Yeah. But there were like 4 or 5 bars. Now there's one, and the guy did 40K on a Sunday. Because all the Harley on their motorcycles come there to eat there on a Sunday. So see, he's a moneymaker in town.
Wow.
Yeah.
I came down that west side of Indianapolis. I taking a piano to Chicago.
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah.
on the way back down, and I was on what
US
highway was that probably?
63?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes straight down.
Straight.
It's a straight
On,
line.
in
from
Indiana.
top to- yeah.
Yeah, it's 63, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cornfield after cornfield
It's a
after
cornfield, yeah,
cornfield,
yeah.
and it's
And
flat,
corn- and
you can
corn-fed gals.
see- What's that?
And corn-fed gals.
And yes, indeed. But it's funny because it's just nothing forever but corn, and then all of a sudden it opens up and there's Indiana State University, right?
Yeah, in Terre Haute, yeah.
And then that is in the blink of an eye, that's gone.
Exactly. And you're on your way to Evansville.
And then
Yeah.
and there's just corn again forever and ever and ever. And it's straight. I mean, it is just straight forever. All you can see is you can take your hands off the wheel, and then it opens up again to the Toyota Subaru plant.
Oh, that's new. I was gone before that was put in.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so and I don't know, maybe that's north of Terre Haute. I don't know, but that's the only two things basically, except for a couple intersections where there's a gas station
Right,
on
exactly,
every
yeah.
intersection.
Yeah.
But it's wild. I mean, you could take your hands off the wheel and just cruise all the way.
It's a very boring road.
It is.
Yeah.
It's cool though because the monotony of it is kind of amazing. It's like, wow, this is really. It's just corn. It's
corn.
corn forever. I love corn.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
That reminds me from Columbus to Cincinnati. Nothing but corn.
Yeah, very similar. Yes. Yeah. It's all the same. It's all the same country up there. Yeah.
It's a flat land. We've got an amazing number of crops. I wish I could list them all, but I got an Indiana book on just agriculture. It was amazing what we're doing up there, and I had no idea. So we know corn and soybeans. That's what I know.
Right.
Because that's where I grew up. You know, I was detasseling corn, baling hay, and all that kind of stuff. So, but the other crops, I'm like, you know, berries. I didn't know that. You know, and tomatoes and berries and all kind of stuff that I had no idea we were growing. Mint. We're a big mint producer for peppermint or for gum or whatever. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, amazing.
So what do you love about being a piano technician?
This right here.
Talking about corn.
Well, not that, but
Talking about it, not doing it.
So the piano business for me is it's definitely a family thing, and technicians were all about the pianos, and I keep telling them, like, look, you need to do other things besides pianos, Tobias. Yeah, you need to do other things. So, you know, we just spent a week with our people out in Des Moines, and we got a crazy bunch of all different kinds, all different ages, and there's this, you know, connection. And I'm teaching now, and have been I've been teaching since for over 10 years, I guess. But it just, I like the people. I like the work. I love my clients because I walk in the door and it's Mary. Hey, Mary, how are you? How's your kid? How's your dog? And I'm always looking in the house. What's there that I can relate to? Like, do you have art on the wall or do you have books on the wall? I'm always looking what I can talk to Mary about. So next time I come, I'm not like the last guy. Who tuned your piano last, Mary, when you were in Pennsylvania? I don't remember. I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
You know, I want my clients to know who I am, and I get them involved in the process. So, you know, they know my mover, they know who I'm working with, and they're completely involved in the piano because they're spending money with me. Yeah, I'm not just there for the tuning. I'm there for the whole experience, right? And then those people enrich our lives, or they do mine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, and you get a customer that, like, our family has had customers for 40 plus years. You know, where it was my father's customer, my uncle's customer. I've been tuning them. Now my son's been tuning them. You know, I mean, and trying to find a loyal customer like that for all those years is very rare.
Very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
But we do have, you know, a good amount of them. You know, and even when the piano was passed down to their kids, they still have us take care of the piano. You know, so and with me growing up in the business, my parents' customer or even my new customers saw me grow up because I was 19 years old when I started. Well, you know, now I'm 48. So they've seen me grow and they've seen the business grow, and they you know, and I've seen their kids grow and their grandkids grow. And it was funny. I don't know if I mentioned this on the other podcast, but one of our customers, her son was having a baby and they were in, I think it was UK, right?
What's that?
Was in UK.
Yeah.
And they
United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
and they're naming it Tobias.
Oh, awesome.
And it just happened to be that she was supposed to have that baby that day. I never called to ask her when I was at her house.
The day that
Yeah.
we moved the piano
Okay,
back in
that's cool.
place, and it was.
Speaking of making an impression, dude.
I didn't think about
You're
it that
trying
way.
to make a connection with books on the show.
my customers are naming their kids after me.
I don't.
Boy, I hope he becomes a piano tuner.
They're not naming their kid Starr. I know that.
So you started in 87, right?
I started 85 with my guy, and then 87 I moved to Florida, and I moved on the beach for about a year and worked for that guy. That guy. Yeah, that's a used guy, the sleazy used guy. Yeah. So that's how I got started. Joined the guild right away. Met Bill McCaig, who was in my area. He was about 3 years in for me. He had a mentor who worked for Steinway, the local dealer, and they had a rebuilding shop. So we were talking. He was really mad that we were in the same neighborhood. So I'm not hurt his business at all, but so the glue thing, I learned that from him. That I just shared with you a year and a half ago, right? So yeah. So
yeah, it's like the convention said, learning never ends.
Right.
It's true. Like, you were here today. I learned some stuff from you. You sent me some videos and pictures of things.
Yeah.
And you just never can stop learning in this business. That's one of the things that I love about it. Besides being the very few people on this planet that do what we do.
Right. That's fun too. Yeah.
I had asked my dad before he passed away, I said, Dad, out of all the people on this planet, how many people actually know what goes into a piano? Because piano teachers don't, piano players don't. Most piano rebuilders, will do to a point, but even manufacturers, one person knows one thing with the piano, not everything.
Right.
And so I was like, it's probably 1%. He goes, Toby, it's probably 0.1%.
Yeah.
And it's like, that made it even more enticing for me, to be in that niche of a business where nobody else does what we do.
Yeah.
And then coming up with, like, you saw some of our our secrets
Yes,
today.
I did, yeah.
You know,
Mum's the word. Yep.
Stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. I swear it's coming.
Coming soon.
next thing we know, Starr's going to have a podcast and be like, hey, doing his own.
Not going to happen. Not gonna happen. Yeah.
But everybody's got their little tricks and tips and things, and it's great because the conventions are perfect for that. The Piano Technician Guild conventions, because you get to learn so much from different people. I learned a trick for key betting from Matthew. He's up in Utah. And it was like,
cool.
that trick. Yeah. And then he also told us about a device from Westland Nickel and Gross that I bought to help with key betting.
Of course you did.
You use that? What's that? Do you use that?
I have it, yes. Yeah. I generally do. I generally use it in certain instances. I'm usually pulling the piano all the way apart. So I do a lot of half-day service, full-day service where I just take it all down and set the key bed that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike, you believe that? He ordered another tool.
I know exactly. There are no tools here. That's my problem. I'm really upset there are no tools here.
I'll buy more.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we got a big tool coming next week.
That's right, your CNC machine.
Yeah, I've been wanting it for years.
I'm envious. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So we're
I
saying
guess-
that now.
Yep. I guess that's out.
That was one of the stay tuned things from the couple podcasts ago.
Well, we can't keep the people hanging for too long. So yes, we're getting a CNC machine. We'll once it comes in and we learn how to work it, we'll put up post-its on.
I finally figured out why your podcasts are so good.
Why is
It's
that?
because M&M are here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has
I
nothing to
never
do with
thought
me.
about that. We should have done some while he was gone.
Yeah.
Told you.
Well,
It was our chance to shine.
we told Tina, but she said, I don't want to outshine him.
Wife/assistant. It's funny because
Congratulations on the promotion, Tina.
so while I was gone, she was running the shop, and she says, "I really want to be your assistant, my wife." And I said, "Okay, yeah, no problem." Because we actually did it one day a while ago, and it worked out great. So I come back on Monday from the PTG convention, and she's knocking all this stuff out for me, and blah blah blah. And so I said I needed something done, where I need her to go get some cashier's checks to get my passport to go out of the country. And I said, okay, so I need you to go get some cashier's checks made out to this and go pick up dinner and have it ready. And she goes, she texted me because she was on the road. She goes, I can't wait to get home to tell my husband what a jerk my boss is. So, but it's also something that, Tina and I have worked together for so long.
Did you ask her to get you a glass of water?
No.
Yeah.
That's the other assistant.
Don't do that. Yeah.
We all know what she'd say to that
I'm
one.
thirsty, assistant.
So,
Make me a sandwich.
You have a bell.
That's
so,
exactly what she'd call you.
yeah, right. We've worked together for so long, and not that we haven't butted heads, but what has happened is that she really knows me and how I think, and she'll say something exactly what I was thinking. So it's like it takes that off of me. And even though we've butted heads with things, we still work really well together. And I know that's very, very difficult to
Rare.
do.
Very rare.
difficult. So I told her, I said, well, let's do it. I mean, we're already working together. So instead of you being in that office there, you're with me out here. And then when you need to do your office stuff, just go in there and blah, blah, blah. So, in a year from now, who knows? I mean, we might be able to teach a class and say, this is how you can make it work. Because I know how hard it is to be able to work with your spouse, even other family members. But we have 7 other family members here. I mean, we all get along. We don't, bicker or anything. I mean, we treat each other all with respect. We love each other. And, so it's kind of like, just because other companies can't do it doesn't mean this company can't do it.
Hamilton piano equals nepotism.
And if they get mad at each other, go to your office.
Yeah.
I think the key to that, though, is accountability. If everybody's accountable for, when you screw up, say something.
Right.
If you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
If that,
Yeah.
I think, will solve just about all those
Absolutely.
kind of
Yep.
problems.
And not taking anything with, take it with a grain of salt, because there's times like something happened, a part that we had finished got damaged, and I was pissed off, and so I slammed the door as I'm leaving to go to my appointment, and but everyone's like, well, one, I mean, they know I'm not mad at them. I mean, the person who told me didn't do it. The person who came later today said, hey, I did this. Thank you for telling me. That's all I need to know. You know, but that's the thing too, is taking accountability for if something happens. I'd rather know about it
Yes, me
than
too.
have someone come to me and say, "Hey,
Right.
where's this mark? How come this and this and this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Hamilton Piano, always online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
We're having a hard time keeping pianos on shelves.
Yeah.
The phone's just nonstop ringing.
Yeah. Between that and
Another
pianos coming in for rebuilds, I mean, it's just
Yep.
Crazy.
It
man.
never stops.
No, it never stops.
No, we do have. I mean, sales, are a little slow
Right.
across the country.
Across the nation,
You
right?
know.
Yeah, exactly.
But rebuilds are
kind of reiterated. Sorry to interrupt, but that was kind of reiterated at the convention.
with everyone I've talked to.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yep. My buddy Michael, talked to him. He said the same thing because I calculated 30%, and he said, "Yeah." You know, so it's the sales are down, but that's the thing. This business was built on service first. And if you start with service first,
Yeah.
you're automatically going to take care of the customer because you're already servicing things. Then you add in selling the pianos. They know they're going to get good service because that's what we focused on to begin with.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, it's not about selling you a piano. It's about making sure you get the right piano for your needs. You know, there's a difference.
That's why the dealers hate me in my area.
Yeah.
Oh, would you go look at this piano for me? I'm like, I tell the dealer, like, if I don't like this, you're not getting a sale. Because it's got to last. My customer's spending X amount of dollars.
Right.
And if it's 40 years old, I don't expect it to last 100. But if the 10-year-old piano, okay, I'm going to say it's probably going to work 50 years. But I want my customer to get a good piano. That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
And I'll learn to turn my head like this when I talk to you. So anyway, I think that, value is where it's at. And it's the 80-20 rule, right? Isn't it? For me, 80% of my business comes from 20% of my customers. And there again, I want them to remember who I am.
Right.
When Mike and Mike M&M go out to do a move, and you guys are fun, they're going to remember, oh, those guys are wonderful, and they're the moving team, right? And they're you. They're not like, I got my own moving company I use, Mike and Tyler, and they're great guys, but they're not my company. And you guys are all one package, which is very cool.
Yeah, our techs too. There's 6 of us, and they go out on the road.
Yeah.
So what the customer sees is when they come here is us first. The store, me dealing with them. Then it goes to the movers, and then it'll be the tuner, whether it is me or one of the other techs. But it's also not a company where you got the salesman that you deal with, and then you never talk to them again. Oh, you got to deal with this person. If there's an issue, you're still going to talk to me because I'm the owner. I mean, that's the difference too. You're not talking to a salesman. You're talking to a piano rebuilder.
This isn't a car dealership.
Right.
Can I just say right now, I hate car dealerships. Salesman, managers, and then I got to go to the woman to pay the thing. And it's like, it's all this nightmare. I just want to buy a car.
Right.
Yeah, it's,
Like a ping pong ball. And
Yeah,
just get
absolutely. Yeah, bounce around.
from
And
one thing to
4
another.
hours, and I got cash.
Yeah.
I just bought a new truck. I got cash money. I got 20 grand, and I got the rest of it, and I'm ready to buy. It still takes me almost 4 hours to get out of the dealership.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no financing, nothing. It's just all this run around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the one that does the paperwork, and I screw that up sometimes with the numbers, with taxes and stuff. But
As long as it's toward the. Yeah.
It's directional.
So, what in the piano industry exactly do you do? I know you do soundboards and tuning, action regulation and rebuilds, right?
All the above.
All the above.
Yeah. So I started out tuning, not very good, but my skill set was I was a machinist, so I could fix things. So the first couple pianos I looked at had broken plates, and I had one right at the main strut, and I drilled holes in it, tapped them, and put bolts in, and saved this. Betsy Ross was made by Lester, so it was a Lester Grand. I saved that one. Then they brought in some 1880s Weber piano, and at the very end of the plate, next to the rim, that was cracked. So I drilled in the rim. I never heard of the end of that. I drilled in the rim, and I drilled clearance holes through the plate and tapped into that, so it was stabilized. So I saved some pianos that way.
Oh, wow.
So then tuning, my customers were telling me, I'm like, who tuned your piano last? I'm like, well, you did. I'm like, oh, I'm getting better. Because who's seeing my work, right? Nobody is, right? Nobody follows your work around, and so tuning got better, and then I got into regulation, and trying to put in a soundboard that didn't happen until 2000 or so. So the 90s was really about floundering around. I wasn't pre-booking my appointments. So FYI, if you're watching this podcast, please pre-book your appointments. You walk in the door, the dealer's behind you, whatever. Well, Mrs. Jones at Pianist Room, I can schedule out 6 months or a year. What would you like to do? And I never push people. So I'll take 1,000 once of your clients. I don't care. But I want a decent piano and take care of that. So that came later. But in the 90s was about doing other things and trying to see if I wanted to be in the business. Yeah. So, but it's been, the 2000s was a jump, a big jump. And then 2006, I met Dale Irwin, who's a big guy in the business, and then David Hughes or others that helped me spur me along.
I know Dave Hughes from Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah. So,
these higher ups, these guys with their caliber, with where they are, it's like, for me, I still feel like I'm a rookie, because when you're doing something, it's like I told one of my techs many years ago, I said, I just don't think I'm a good tuner. I mean, I know I'm not a bad tuner, but I don't think I'm this great tuner. And he goes, that's what's making you a good tuner.
exactly.
Because you never think that you are as good as you are.
That's where it's at.
I said it on a previous podcast that a tuning's like a fingerprint. I know my tunings. I knew my father's tunings when I would follow him. My uncle's tunings. I know other technicians' tunings. It's like, I know who tuned this piano. And I'll even ask the customer, and 99% of the time I'm correct, because it's just that fingerprint. But it's also, we're all individuals, and it's all, every piano is different. Every tuner is different. We don't all tune the same. You can't tune the piano, every single piano, the same way. It's impossible.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So that's the other beauty of the business, is that every day it's something different. Okay, I'm on the road today. I'm not on the road today. I'm in the shop today. I'm doing this, and you get to do something different, and that's why everybody here too also gets to feel that when they're going from, okay, Anna, you're doing this today, then she goes tomorrow, she might be doing this. It's never stagnant, because we're always, everybody knows more than one thing here.
Yeah.
When you do one thing, it's, it can get a little stale.
I didn't really answer your question. I started out tuning, and then I got into rebuilding. I did pen blocks first, and then with Wally Brooks and Brooks Limited, I started hammers and shanks because he sent them glued in. Mm-hmm. And then you start learning about voicing, and the hammers are a little hard for my taste. So then David Stanwood, I don't know if you know this name or not, David Stanwood came out with a metrology program, and he really looked deep inside of an action to see how much weight was in, and he's putting lead in hammers and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy bananas. But what he did is he forced all of us, the guys that are still wanting to learn, look, you can go this deep into an action and get really good at it, so it plays nicely. And so new terms came out, balance weight, strike weight, all these terms came out, and that pushed me into actions pretty hard. And then Christian and his dad did this video at this college. You're going to go up there and see him. And it was a DVD at the time. Oh, I'm sorry, a VHS tape. Sorry. Yeah, VHS. A VHS tape. And I must have watched it 100 times, and I ordered his soundboard kit. And that got me started. So I did 3 kit boards. So I'm always learning, dude. I'm always here, And my buddy, I love him and hate it at the same time, because somehow his quality of his work's a little bit better than mine. I'm like, damn it, what are you doing, man? Right. And whether I'm in a hurry or whatever the hell it is, but the guy's a phenomenal technician and a craftsman, and he's been a wonderful guy to look upon and gather and garner new skills. So I everything but cabinets. I did 1 grand piano refinishing, like no more. I got a guy to do that. All the structural stuff, new veneer, anything to do with the structure of a cabinet, I'm fixing all that because I want it to last a century. Mm-hmm. If you're spending this kind of money with me, I want it done right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I think people that own pianos or want to buy pianos have a huge misunderstanding of what actually goes into it and why it costs what it does to either do what we do or why you're purchasing what you're purchasing. That piano over there is going to outlast your car, probably 2 or 3 cars. Yeah. It's gonna be less maintenance that you're going to have to do than you will to your house. I mean, there's so many things with the piano. They're built to last if you get a good one or get a rebuilt one done the right way. Right. And they only look at the here and now and what it costs. So let's kind of. I just thought of this. If you were to take, I'm going to say $50,000, okay, and you have a piano that's going to last you 80 years, how much did that really cost you a month?
Not much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One oil change a year.
Yeah. For all that, for all that enjoyment that your family, not just you, now your kids, maybe grandkids, have gotten out of that $50,000. Now, yeah, $50,000 is a lot to put on a piano. Let's say it's a $10,000 piano. It's going to last almost just as long. I mean, if it's a decent $10,000 piano,
and maintained.
Right?
Maintained.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, I think people really need to understand the craftsmanship that goes into the instrument to begin with. And the good thing is that it's been the same design for over 150 plus years. You can still get parts for it. you can still rebuild it. You can still fix it if it needs it, if you keep it in the family. Or you can still trade it in and get another piano. I mean, there's probably some kind of a value, even if it was $500 or whatever. There's nothing ever lost when you buy a piano. I know people probably, because they move back and forth so much and they think, oh, I moved this thing 100 times and paid this much. Well, that's on you. But when you have something in your home that's enjoyable, that you can play when you don't have power, and have, a sing-along, or you do your Christmas parties with, or whatever it is, and have a pianist come in and play for your guest, or have the piano playing by itself because it has a QRS player system. I mean, these are all things that I don't think people really put into perspective when they see a piece of furniture, which is what they think it is when it's actually a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's the difference.
It's really a small price to pay,
It is.
especially during our summer sale.
That's why I'm in Emmons here. That's right.
Happening now.
When I sell a rebuild to my customer, it's always next generations, right? It's a lot of money, but we're looking for the next century. Right. If it's a Steinway, if it's not a Steinway, I'm not going to say a century, but we're building for the next number of decades for your family to enjoy. And to touch base with you on the piano, the piece of furniture in the home, you have not just the parent that played the piano as a kid, and then they raise their kids, and then their friends' kids come over, and there's this piano always there. And that's worth a ton of money right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just that the piano's in the home.
Yeah.
Even if the kid that walked by it heard his buddy or the girl play the piano, he never forgets that as a young child, right? So it's always there. And so it's legacy, and it's we're always talking about better math skills. I'm not going down that road, but I mean, playing music makes you sharper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's a proven
I think
fact.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it turns a house into a home. Now, unfortunately, sometimes it is a piece of furniture, but it's an elegant piece of furniture.
The Grand Transporter guy, you know who that is?
Yeah.
He's done. His son is carrying on, but he worked for Kimball.
Okay.
And I wish I could remember his name. He came to my church and I sold him the Grand Transporter. He delivered it he's up in Newport Richie.
Was it Mike?
Okay.
Mike, no, it wasn't Mike. No, the other Mikes, it wasn't Mike.
That would have been too easy.
It would have been too easy, yeah. Anyway, he worked for Kimball. And so what's cool about this business, too, is all the old dudes that you try to get a hold of before they move on to the next life. There's so much information.
Yeah.
I love the old dudes. They got a lot to say, especially you.
I feel like it.
Well, and like Fernando, it's a wealth of knowledge that's here.
I could hang with him for a week.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yep. I mean, he's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
And he's built so many tools and parts and things like that. But yeah, if you could take every little bit of information that every single technician had, not one person could fathom that. You really can't because everybody has their own tricks, and some of those tricks nobody's ever got to see.
Yep.
I've gotten tools from other technicians, and I see a jig that a technician made. I'm like, what would you use this for?
Right, yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. Why would they have had? And Fernando, what do you think? Oh, I don't know. And sometimes he's like, no, they probably did it for this.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah. And it could have been completely the opposite of what you thought it was.
Well, you're the only guy I know with like 7 machinist vices in a row to put key tops on. So yeah.
Everything at your fingertips. Yeah. Make it as easy as possible.
I know that's what's cool about this place is all your mobile stuff, all the parts that you have. You're not missing anything, and I'm looking around all the time, and it's already labeled, ready to go. Yeah.
You have to, because whether I do the job or someone else does the job, I want it to be as easy as possible on them. Because if it's just the way it should be, like even with our moving equipment, it's as easy as you can move a piano. Can't get any easier than what we have to do it. With tuning a piano and all the, regulating all the devices and things like that, you have to have these things so that you're not wasting time.
Yeah.
And if we don't have it, we make it. And that's the cool thing is thinking outside the box. Thinking about what is out there that has never been made or no one has, and it makes your life a million times easier. Now we've used it, and you guys thought it was great, right? Yep. I mean,
we used it twice now.
Yeah. And you said, "Oh, well, how often are we going to use this? Once every 5 years?"
He's eating
and
crow.
I'd gladly eat crow because it worked great.
Yeah.
So I got no problem eating crow.
You want hot sauce with that? Yeah.
I got some in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's working great. And stay tuned.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's the cool thing too. Like we were talking about earlier, how when you rebuild one Steinway, all Steinways look the same. So it's kind of like 10 years later, it's the same color plate, it's the same strings, it's this and this and this. The same thing with any manufacturer. It feels like for me when I was doing it on my, I don't know, 50th, 100th Steinway I was rebuilding, whatever it was, I felt like it was on number one, because it was the same look, the same this and this with the piano. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. Let's do this plate a different color. Let's make this piano a different color. So that's why I like the customizing and doing the outside of the box stuff with that, because now you're turning something that's not just a musical instrument, but into a piece of art.
Yeah.
Right.
And
fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I showed a customer the purple and black one today at her house.
Yep.
So she's like, do you have a card? Absolutely. Here you go.
Our refinishing guy locally, he's been, he'll do the piano in satin and the fall board will be in gloss.
That's a nice look.
Okay.
And then he'll do the inside of the lid. The rest of it's satin and the inside of the lid is gloss. So it completely reflects that stuff.
Right.
And that's on pianos he's doing, right? Customer pianos. I mean, they'll ask about it. And whatever color you want, if you want Ferrari red, he'll give you one.
I think
We've done that.
doesn't the Yamaha CFX, I think, is ebony polish, but the inside of the lid is satin. And I think that was a sound choice
Oh, interesting.
because of the way it reflects off of the bottom of the lid.
Maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't think we've talked about that, but that's a thing.
Well, at the convention, I took a Bosendorfer class, and they, on their high polished pianos, they have a mat now that they put over the top of the lid that is satin, so that this way, if it's on the concert stage, the lights don't reflect off of it. But if they ever sell it or they want to keep the high polish, they just take the mat off.
That's probably the same thing, almost like they have on the music desk on the sales floor.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yep.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty interesting idea,
Huh.
that they do. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a concert hall here. That I need
It's
to-
just the mat that just lays there. It's not
Yeah.
like stuck.
No, it's stuck to it.
It's an
Oh, yeah.
adhesive type deal.
CA glue.
Double-sided tape. And you're on the West Coast. You're in Tampa.
I'm in Tampa, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how far do you range? Because I know I've given you some customers I have called over here. What's your mile
It
radius?
depends on what are they going to paint me.
Okay.
Yeah, I went recently.
What kind of art do they have on the wall?
Yeah, exactly.
Los Angeles, if they're paying.
baby. So I got a call from a colleague over in south of Sarasota. It's a Blutener, and the gentleman wanted me to. The action was heavy. Complained about it for 15 years. So I'm thinking I'm doing a way off. So I said, look, I'm not coming down there for less than $1,000. So that's my day rate to go down there because it's I can stay home and make money and not travel and get home at a reasonable hour. So, my range normally is 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about that. And usually there's a travel fee if I'm outside that.
Yeah.
But now it's because the traffic's so much, it takes more time to get
yeah.
anywhere. As you guys know, wherever you go, it's in the way. So,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm doing like 3 counties. I don't cross the bridge into Pinellas except occasionally, but Hillsborough. So I'm running kind of on the east side of the bay.
Okay.
And running that pretty much
Clearwater
there.
area.
Yeah, I don't do Clearwater.
No?
No, it's only Tampa and north, north and east, a little bit south. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and it's kind of tough. I mean, I don't do that much road work anymore because it's just too hectic here. But when I was on the road doing 5 tunings a day, sometimes 6 or 7, you're going from tuning to tuning to tuning to tuning, And I did that every year after year for like 3 months straight. I'm not kidding, 7 days a week. My average was, I think, 33 to 36 tunings a week. And I was just concert
My
season.
hands hurt thinking about that. Yeah. I'm doing 3 a day. That's enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so as time went on, I had a technician that, I brought in and he worked with me. I was like, oh, okay, this kind of helped alleviate it. And then I started backing off, and then I brought another technician and so on and so forth. And I would never want one technician to do everything that I did because I know what it was like coming home and my head's going wah, 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 wah. And I had to have the TV so loud. And my wife's like, why is the TV so loud? I said, I'm trying to drown the stuff out going on in my head,
Yeah,
And
That's deaf.
yeah, I'm dying. And so for those 3 months, every year I had to back off. And now that there's 6 of us, I think I do 30 tunings a year now. I mean, it's because let everybody else do the work and spread it out. You could spread that. I mean, we do over 2,000 customers a year tuning, and that's spread out between 6 people. So let me rephrase that: over 2,000 tunings, because not 2,000 customers, because some of our customers are repeats. Concert halls and museums and churches and so on and so forth.
Cruise ships.
Yep, and spread that out over a year, and 6 guys. It makes it a lot easier, and their head's not going wah 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 wah. It's not a good feeling.
No, it's not good for you.
No,
not good for your hands, not good for your ears.
Right.
Yeah.
Back, shoulder, all that
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is. It's a good medium, because at least you're on the road and you're making decent money, with the 3.
Right.
You could always squeeze a 4th one in if you felt. No, I'm just saying a technician could if they felt like it.
Right.
Or if it was an emergency or last minute tuning, because we actually get those a lot, where it's like, oh, I forgot to call and do this. Can you come out right now? For events, not for customers.
For events. Yeah, exactly.
And so we get those. Actually, more than you would think. We should put sirens on our cars.
Yeah.
Want to do the piano?
I've said for years, you wouldn't believe when people tell you, "Oh, I'm a piano mover." You do what? And you get talking about it, and it's like you wouldn't believe how many emergencies there are in the piano business. Like I would get calls at 3 when I was running DC Moore. I'd get calls.
Oh, you were DC Moore.
I was DC Moore down here
in Orlando.
Well, I was West Palm.
Okay, West Palm.
So I moved out. So DC Moore in Orlando. I moved down here in 06 to open up a branch.
Okay, cool.
And that's how I ended up down here.
All right, cool.
So you know Donnie?
No, I did. DC Moore there was a guy there that turned me on to a different kind of hammer, piano hammer, way back in the late 80s, 90s. DC Moore in Orlando,
DC
right?
Moore in Orlando.
Okay, yeah. So and Brian Scott's up there. You know that name?
I know the name.
He's the tech for DeLand.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
DeLand University. So it's Stetson. I'm sorry, Stetson. Yeah,
right.
Stetson.
Yep.
And I knew about. I drove over there to meet this guy and talk about piano hammers. So that's how I know about DC.
Okay.
I'll be there.
So when I moved down to Florida from DC,
I
started with DC Moore. I was there for 2 years.
Okay.
In Orlando, and then they asked me to come down to West Palm to open up a branch down here, and I ran it solo from 2006 until just 2 years ago when I came on board.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't know how we started talking about that.
It doesn't matter. You know what? It was really cool interlude, though. I like
cool.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so
it would have been less than 2 years ago if he would have taken me up, 7 years ago when I first tried to get him on
Okay,
board.
cool. Yeah.
It took 7 years to court this guy to get him to freaking
When
join
did
us.
the podcast show up? Because obviously he belongs here. So
We just August 13th will be our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
that's
very
right.
cool. Okay.
August 13th.
Yeah.
We're going to have a party then.
I know.
We got some of those hats with the propeller.
So I
Drinks for everybody.
So you guys are
be fun.
You're on your truck, you're doing a move, and there's somebody in the morning you're listening to, right? And it's a podcast kind of thing. They're doing music, but there are 3 or 4 people all laughing, right? And have a radio station down here, like a rock station.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We like listening to music.
Go on.
Okay, yeah. So all I'm saying is Eminem. I hear you guys all the time. And I mean that in the sense that you guys belong in this environment.
Thank you.
Because the lib is there, the ad lib is there, and you got stories.
You should hear us in the truck.
Yeah.
And
And in our customers' houses.
Yeah, exactly.
We have
So-
a lot of fun with our
we
customers.
definitely do.
So anyway,
sure.
I think you guys are like perfect for this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we make a good team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it
Yeah,
was
definitely.
funny because Ian's the one who told us we should do a podcast, and when he was working here, he was our IT guy.
Okay. The one that quit.
No, that was another guy.
Okay.
But Ian did leave to go off do his own business.
All right, good for him.
But and that, we knew that from the beginning. So he was only working here as an interim for like 3 days a week. And then he put this seed in my brain. You got to do a podcast. You got to do a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, dude, where am I going to have time to do a podcast? I know, blah, blah, blah. And he kept talking about it. I never watched a podcast or listened to one. And so finally, I think after 6 months, just something inside me said, let's try it. Let's just see. So we had the first one, no video, only audio. And we had one microphone right here.
Yeah.
And we're eating chips. And we're tapping all the time.
There was, I think, 6 or 7 of us.
Oh wow. Okay. Busy podcast.
It was
yeah.
wild.
And so for our anniversary, I think we should do that again. Get some chips. And
Sounds delicious.
but
We got to
And-
get the Fritos, chili
Yeah.
cheese, have
Yeah.
Copeland Davis on.
Yep. And so we had a blast. I'm like, okay, so much fun that's why we had this gear now. Because I was like, I want to do this the right way.
Has this been weekly since a year ago? Almost.
Almost.
Okay.
It's sometimes like a month would go by, we wouldn't. I think one time 2 months went by because we had so
Probably.
many.
during seasons. Tough.
Yeah, you're busy. Yeah, you don't have time. Yeah,
But
yeah.
we release them bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're on episode, I think the last one to come out was 26, maybe?
28,
Kyle?
I think.
I'm
27
tickled.
or 28.
I'm so tickled to be here, man. This is kind of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
it
a
is
blast.
I
It's been a
watch them all the time, but I've never been. You know,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've watched our podcast?
Oh, I have not. I didn't know about it till recently. No, you're not Joe. You're not Joe Rogan, dude. Sorry.
Not yet, because you're not watching.
This is how Joe started out.
Exactly.
You listen to Rogan?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
I'm
like
regularly.
it's very fun. Yeah.
And this is why we are where we are. We've had some really cool guests on, and
Look, I'm doing my best here. Okay.
you're
know.
included in that.
Okay.
We know.
The try-hard guy he is, man. He's such a try-hard.
And
Try a little harder. Come on.
and so, but yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, come on, it's going to be a year, man, in a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It goes fast.
Yeah.
It goes really fast.
It
But I
does.
realized where I was when we got sidetracked by DC Moore and got on this offshoot. We were talking about piano emergencies. When you talk to people about you're in a piano business, and I would get calls sometimes 3 a.m, for moves. They didn't necessarily sometimes didn't need it moved at 3 a.m, but they felt that they needed to call you. They were up and they needed to get a message to you. So I would.
And you picked the phone up?
No.
okay.
I would say the voicemail. Well, if I had a piano out on a vent somewhere,
Yeah, you got
then
yeah.
I would answer.
Yeah,
Sure, that's happened too. It's raining on the piano, or some kind of thing. But yeah, the piano emergencies. It's people would never believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got a piano from somewhere else and they fell through. They didn't show up. No, we got to get a piano.
Oh, wow. As far as rental is concerned,
Piano
right?
busters on the way.
Yeah.
It's mostly rentals.
for a rent-
That's
for-
the,
yeah,
that's
that-
the biggest
Yeah,
emergency.
that's it's crazy.
We forgot to order a piano for tomorrow.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Wedding planner.
Yeah.
They have a wedding plan.
What do you mean? You don't have a piano?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Speaking of like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there was this one time. So we have our shopping cart on our website where you could just buy a piano and pay for it. And
No way, really?
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
It's a big shopping cart. And so
It's a box truck.
that's what it should be. The piano gets picked up, goes
Ready
right into
down.
the truck. It's on its way.
Put it on Trello.
And so we get into the office, into the shop, and Cheryl, I think, says, "Hey, we sold a piano last night. It's that Kohler and Campbell white one." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. They bought it, so we'll have to call them to set up delivery, yada, yada." About 10, 11 o'clock. Now, this is we can tell when they bought it. It was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm like, "Whoa,
They were
up
really
late."
high at the time?
Yeah. We're like, they're going to want their money back. Whatever they were on.
They were drinking.
And so I get a call like 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah, we want to buy this piano. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I just sold it last night." And they're like, "Oh, we really wanted that piano." I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you would have called me yesterday, you would have had it, but we sold it last night." She goes, "Around 2 o'clock in the morning?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "That was us." Okay. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, you get the piano."
Congratulations.
I felt bad because she felt really sad, like, "Oh, we really wanted that piano," but that was them. She was just
Somebody got it at 115. Sorry.
You don't do the eBay thing, you bid higher by $1, at the last minute.
right. Should start doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, our prices on our pianos are very good.
They look very reasonable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, you see how good they look too, because we go through them completely, between cleaning the action, lubricating, tightening everything, regulating, cleaning, internally,
Dude,
externally.
you've got your aunt who should be retired cleaning keys. So yeah, everything looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's on her. That's not me. All right, everybody. She wants to be
She
here.
wants to be here. I know that. Yeah. Sweet lady. Yeah.
I agree. She should be retired, but she loves to work, and
No,
she
yeah.
it would drive her nuts. Same thing with Fernando.
I've been telling her to retire for years.
Yep.
She won't listen to anyone.
But then we wouldn't know where anything is. Either.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and what is she going to do? Well, that's why I love about the piano
Sit
business.
at the house
We
and
could-
do.
No, you'd be bringing keys to the house.
She
FYI.
could do some gardening. She could do.
I brought these home from work for you. Now you got a hobby instead of a job.
You were talking about doing all those piano tunings. So I'm doing 3 a day, and then I'm in my studio, and I work till 10 at night. So I'm trying to do all of it. So, and I'm not complaining, but that's what happens.
Daily, you're working till 10 at night?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Well, daily. So Sunday's my motorcycle day. I get on my bike and
Oh,
ride.
what do you
it.
got?
Which one?
I don't know.
I got a Ducati. I've got a Royal Enfield 650. I've got a KTM Super Duke GT.
Oh, wow.
And those are touring machines and track machines and that kind of stuff. But so Sunday's a ride day. But I typically come home Sunday afternoon and work.
No Harleys,
No Harleys. Sorry, dude. I'm very un-American.
obviously.
So I'll do my tunings during the day and then go work in the studio at night. And then, I've got a wonderful lady in my life, so she needs time. So I'm with her some of the time. But yeah, that's my day. So 3 tunings enough. And if your guys are tuning a lot, Eric Shandell worked for Steinway. He's now in Norway, married a beautiful technician over there. He takes tissue paper when he does concert work and puts it in his ears to take the edge off, to take the edge off the tuning. So that's what he's doing. And I bought I pay for the earplugs, and they're musicians' earplugs, and they have a 9 dB and a 15 dB filter.
Oh, okay.
And even without the filter, it's too much. But a little bit of tissue paper helps for the people that are tuning out there. And you're in a practice room, and it's it's a Samick upright. They're not bright. And so
Not at all.
No, and then you put the tissue paper in your ears to get by, and save your hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you tried that at all?
I used to. I did. I actually would just take my earbuds that I used to listen to music with, and I would put them in. But then I thought customers might be like, "How could he tune the piano? He's listening to his music."
Right. Exactly.
So I did.
No, he's not. He's listening to the Hamilton podcast.
Yeah.
On Spotify, YouTube, or Facebook.
And so I did, but for me, and once again, I tried that a long time ago. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I don't tune enough now to warrant doing that. And I'm not. My halls are. Some of them are just acoustic now. We do have like Norton is pretty live. That hall, the Great Hall, where they have the piano in. But no, I don't do it. I know there's a lot of things that technicians do. Like I know, like you were talking about your shoulder, your arm, and that's a big thing from tuning.
Yeah.
For me, I've never had a problem with my arm tuning. And I think it's because I know it don't look like it, but I do exercise, and so and I think just doing the movements of what I do, keeps this all limber. So that's why I don't have problems with my shoulder. I know my uncle did, but my dad didn't. So that was the funny thing too, because my uncle, same thing. He would only do like 3 pianos a day. My dad would do 9 in a day. I mean, he'd have no choice because it was like concert sometimes. And my dad was a madman. And that's why he got sick. He just worked too much, and his body shut him down and said, "You're not doing anything."
You're paying attention, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I am.
okay.
That's why I don't tune that much anymore.
Yeah.
I drive myself crazy here.
Don't the podcast needs to be done at like 7, not 9. So,
Yeah. Depends on how long this lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
So I should put the time on this one, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 o'clock. So I did. I learned from my dad that because I didn't want that to happen to me. I wouldn't want it to happen to anybody.
No.
My dad was carrying a bench for the artist Richard Good, and he put the bench down, and he's like, "I can't tune the piano," and he was at the Kravis Center, and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to call my brother, my uncle, and call his brother, my uncle, and to come in and do the tuning." So my uncle went in and did the tuning, and my dad said, "I just need to go home. I just need to get some sleep, and I'll get right back to it in the morning." Well, he stayed in bed for almost a year. He couldn't get out of bed. He had chronic fatigue syndrome with Epstein-Barr.
Okay.
And my dad was a big guy, 6'4", 260 pounds. He was down to 160 pounds like that.
Wow,
And I wasn't living at home at the time. So, and my mom didn't tell me exactly how sick he was. So I happened to come home, and I saw him, and he could barely get off the couch. And I'm like, "Dad, don't worry. I'll take care of everything." So I called my friends. I said, "Don't call me. Don't bother me. I have to learn how to tune piano." So for 6 months straight, I had a piano in my apartment, and I was practicing tuning orally. My uncle would help me, and my dad would when he could in his back room. And within 6 months, I was out on the road tuning. But even before that, my dad had the piano I had in my apartment was like a little Kawai CE7 console.
wonderful piano.
Fantastic. And so, but my dad had it rented for an event. And so my brother and I would,
That was a magic act.
and so my
Cheap too, I bet.
I think my dad had to pay them to take the piano. So my brother and I moved it because that's what we would do, and I had tuned it in my apartment. And so I said to my uncle, he told me go ahead and tune it. He's going to tune it anyway, for the event, blah blah blah. And I think it was a free thing, if I'm not mistaken. So
we figured that.
It was a donated rental and tuning. So my uncle tuned it, and a day or two later, I said, "So, hey, Uncle Danny, how was my tuning?" He said, "It was horrible." And I said, "Okay, I guess I got a lot more to learn." So just baptism under fire, and paying my dues and just tuning. And then I was out on the road with my first appointment with my uncle, and it took me 2.5 hours to tune the piano. Customer thought I was just taking my time and being very thorough. He gave me a $30 tip, and my uncle said, "I never got a $30 tip in my whole career," and I got it on my first.
Oh, I
tune.
thought your uncle didn't give it to you. The client did.
The client did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's back in 1995.
Yeah. 96, 97. Yeah.
So you were how old when you were on
19.
the road? 19. Okay.
And so we come home to tell my dad how it went. And he goes, "Can you believe he got a $30 tip on his first tuning?" And my dad goes, "Yeah, I never got one either." And he goes, "I can count how many tips I've gotten on one hand." And that was just my first one. I've gotten hundreds of tips, but it's because you have to have a certain PR with the customers, and it has to be genuine and honest.
Absolutely.
Bullshitters will get them so far, but it'll catch up to you. But if you're truthful and honest,
absolutely,
and you give the customer, like you were saying, you want your customers to remember you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do too, whether it's moving it, tuning it. Yeah. And, but the industry, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm seeing, now granted, I've only started going back to the PTG meeting or conventions the last couple of years, but to see all the young people that are coming into it is really, really nice, because they're, one, it's like for me, doing my first 2 classes for a convention, showing everybody how we do things and teaching them. And even like Christian Bolduc, he said, I got some good tips from your class.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, great. That's
what
it's all about.
That guy's getting tips. Yeah.
But that's what it's all about is it doesn't matter if you've been in the business for 5 months or for 5 years or for 50 years. You're always going to get something from someone, whether it was just something that they said and it triggered something in your brain. You're like, oh, now I get it. I could have used this for this. For instance, like I'm a big Amazon junkie, and I'll buy tools.
Do you buy tools? Yeah, okay.
Sometimes. I'll buy when my credit card's not maxed. But I'll buy a tool from like an automotive tool or a kitchen utensil or something that, believe it or not, you can use on the piano world. You just got to figure out what to do with it. Yeah. And I've got some of those, like a rivet puller for fenders for a car. It's perfect for pulling punchings. I'll show you the tool. It's got 2 forks. You just slide it underneath the punching, squeeze the handle, comes right out.
Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a really good tool.
Well, I think that's why I'm glad you've gotten into doing the conventions, because you've mentioned it before. We've talked about it. You guys are the perfect age because you're not the old guys.
Why, thank you.
What I mean? Yeah. And you're not the new guys. You guys are the real contributors, I think, or the ones kind of holding things together. And it's kind of new for you. You've been doing the conventions for a while?
Yeah, my first convention was 1988.
So you're a solid convention guy.
I think so. I mean, I missed a number of them too. But once and that's another story, maybe for another time, about making Hammerfeld. But once I met Dale Irwin, my mentor in California, and then Ronson Piano Hammers, which is Ray Negron, then that was conventions all the time, because Ray and I were teaching, especially at regional conventions. And then so I've been doing solid conventions for 25 years probably.
Yeah, I think it's great.
But I missed them in the 90s. But the new kids coming in, as of this year, this January, we have 266 new members.
Oh, wow.
in the guild. So we're about 3,100 across the nation, and we had 80. I'm going to get this number right, because 86 or 88 of those new people in Des Moines.
Yeah.
So this past week.
Yep.
So that's and I love seeing the young people.
Mm-hmm.
That mean I can help.
Right.
I want I don't know how big your chapter is here, but we got a 20-year-old kid that I'm working with, but I'm not. I don't know if he's serious enough,
Mm-hmm.
but finding the kids that want to be serious about it and take it, because it's an awesome occupation.
Oh, absolutely.
All my homeschool families, I tell them all the time, check out the PTA, the Piano Technicians Academy. $1,500 and you can be started in the piano business. And then there's North Bennett Street School in Boston, which is a great 1 year, 2 year program. I just met the kid from University of Houston. He's got a 3 year program. It's like $5,000 a year. You can, and you don't have to go to one young man's going to Florida State, right? Who was that?
Yeah.
Oh, Victor.
Yeah, Victor's
yeah.
going to. So
Yeah.
to go to Florida State and to get a piano technology degree, you need a bachelor's degree. If you go to University of Houston, you don't have to have a degree. You can be out of high school. Okay, that's where I'm going to send my homeschool kid, right? But if they're 18 and their parents are freaking out because that's Texas and they're in Florida,
Right.
But so the PTA is a great way to get new people started in learning the piano business, and that's Michael, the guy in Arizona.
Or you just
Michael
enroll to Hamilton Academy.
Yeah,
And,
I'm
you're good.
waiting. As soon as the enrollment is announced, I'll be sending them right here. I've already got a shuttle.
Stay tuned.
I've got a shuttle
It's in
ready.
the works.
It's in the works.
It's gonna be, I'm gonna get on the back of my bike. Let's go.
But it's 95 degrees. I don't care. We're going.
Well, it's funny because for the last couple months on Sundays, I've been training Victor, David, Mike, and Kevin tuning, and getting them the basis where they're starting to do like unisons, and just getting used to technique, setting a pin.
This is you're talking about the hammer.
Yeah, I started with
that's complete. Nobody taught me that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Just to get your fundamental where your mute goes, where your hammer goes, and what key you're hitting.
Right.
So you're going like this and like this and like this.
Yeah.
Getting
Give
your
too much away, your academy will go.
Yeah, belly up.
belly
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So at the convention,
rewind.
So we're in Des Moines and we're talking about this, and he says, "Look, I get my guy to look, where's the pin? Where's the wire? Here's the mute. Put the lever on." Okay, so now I know it's this pin out here, and I'm muting that string, and then I move up, and that's an amazing drill. I've never heard that before.
Yep.
Usually, like tune a unison. Okay, well, there's 3 wires, and maybe somebody put the wire in the wrong pin.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So that's an amazing drill.
Yep. And then doing other stuff I won't give away because you'll have to,
Right. I know.
it'll be 5 years before we
have to
have
apply.
it. You have to apply.
You have to apply for that.
But I was toying around with the idea because I really liked it. I liked going between, the 4 guys and having these 3 guys do this while one guy's tuning. And then when 2 guys were doing this, 2 guys were doing that, I'm going back and forth.
absolutely.
And this and
Now
that.
we're down to 3.
Yeah.
That's where these classes go.
Right. There were 6 mics, and
And then we're going to be down to 2 because Victor's going back to he's going to FSU.
oh, this young man here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But I liked it, and I'm sitting there going, if with the right teachers, with you, maybe Jude, Christian, whoever, and I have a certain way that I think it should go, that if when we add onto the building and we have the room to do it, I think we could do something like a North Bennett school thing, but it would be a certain amount of students, and one student is guaranteed a job here.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, absolutely. It's
The
guaranteed.
best one, right? Yeah.
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 If there's 2, if there's
Not the winner.
Not the worst.
but the training that we would give them would be, you don't get to move on till you get this done right.
Cool.
It's not like, okay, you got a month to do this. No, you're not moving on. I don't care if everybody else is moving on. You don't get to move on until you get it down.
So
and then we move on.
as a suggestion, you should have visiting teachers.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
exactly.
you
I couldn't do it all by
Come
myself.
down for a week or
Yeah.
whatever, and you teach a segment of the course.
Right.
And then it could be a revolving door.
Absolutely.
And that's fun for me to help the young people out, and it's another way to drag
And the old people.
and the old people. But I mean, my colleagues in other places were like, "Hey, Tobias is doing this class. We need your expertise, Dr. Lee." Or
Yeah.
Dale Irwin. Like, Dale, we need you to come a week because the students are at this point and we need an expert to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they're getting not just one person's way of doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right,
then you
right.
can incorporate what you are, the way you do it and the way I do it. We're going to do it 2 different ways. It's still the right way.
Right,
But it's
right,
2 different
yeah,
ways. And then they can pick and choose which way they want to do it.
Right. Exactly.
That's easier on them. It's like my father always told me, I don't care if you do it my way, just do it the way that is easiest for you and makes sense to you, but it just has to be the right way.
Here's the end result.
Right.
Right.
You
Results.
figure out the
Results
find
are
your
everything.
path to get there.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
find
yeah,
your happy medium.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's not impossible. I mean, we add onto the building, and it's something that I wouldn't mind doing. I mean, and I'm thinking like a 9-month course, and I got rental property. I can put students up too. You know,
He does.
I mean, there's no limit.
I hadn't even thought about that aspect of it. But that's pretty cool. You keep one of them open, or yeah.
He's got dorms.
FYI, next year, January, Hamilton Piano has a brewery starting. So.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Where do I sign up?
But Rashawn was saying, hey, when you open up here, you should put a coffee shop and get people to come for coffee.
Yeah,
That's
he
not a
said
bad
that.
idea too.
Well, no, that was
No, he said put a coffee truck.
Kyle was
Kyle.
talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Put a coffee truck in the parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And do some business.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Every day, different truck comes with different food.
I'm not cooking for all those
No.
people.
Do you cook?
Only on the grill periodically.
Okay.
But it's but yeah, there's so the thing too is I think we do a lot of dreaming, here, and the dreams may not
that
come
what you call it?
true. Yeah. The dreams may not come true when you want them to, but eventually they do. But you also appreciate it much more because you fight to get it. For instance, this building took me 10 years to get. I fought for 10 years to try to buy a building. When I was looking, I could either refinish there, but I couldn't sell pianos, or vice versa. Zoning was off, or I couldn't afford it, or someone just bought it, or I was this close to being able to buy it, but I just couldn't,
Couldn't refinish in there.
Right. And so it took 10 years. So I fought and fought and fought. What really happened was when my landlord gave me an eviction notice because he was tearing the building down, I'm like, I have no choice. I'm not moving to rent. I'm not renting again.
Right.
I'm not going to move 180 pianos we had at that time. And we had 16,000 square feet. I said, I'm just not going to do it because just to be in the same situation where my landlord could raise the rent, tell me to get out because he wants to remodel or whatever. So we got lucky. We bought this building, but we always keep dreaming. And it's funny, if you would have came here 4 years ago, this shop looks nothing like it did 4 years ago.
I believe that.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's always evolving.
I
It's always
think when I
changing.
come back in 2 weeks, I won't recognize it. The change is going on that fast,
CNC
Well,
machine
the
will be out there.
CNC machine will be here.
We'll be teaching classes outside in a tent. But yeah, and that's but we talked about it before at a previous podcast. You don't stall. You can't idle. You can't stall. In just my opinion, you got to keep going somewhat forward. Even if you're idling the right direction, that's fine. But if you stall and you're sitting there, that's all you're doing. It's the same thing with pricing. You stall and you keep your prices the same way they were from 10 years ago.
You're going to get hurt.
Right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You have to kind of follow suit. And it's like, one of two things. One, my father always told me you either get paid for what you know or what you can do.
Yeah.
Some people get paid for both.
Right.
And the thing is that if you think you're worth it, charge what you're worth.
Yes. Yeah,
You know, because you should be able to get it. So people that are great in the business, but they're still charging what they charged 10 years ago, whether they're afraid of losing customers or whatever it is, you still should be getting it because for every one customer you lose, you're going to gain two anyway. And that's just kind of how I look at it. But it's such a great industry, no matter how you look at it. Whether it's from the teaching standpoint, the learning standpoint, and then everything else in between. And I'm really looking forward to Maryland Convention because we're going to be there.
Oh, you mean Arlington? Yeah.
Arlington.
Yeah,
Yep. And we're going to do a booth.
Nice.
And
Well, you
We're
have
gonna do a boat
we're going to
too.
do a boat. Yep.
Mike and Mike are coming?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Awesome.
We
You
got
gonna
this.
be there?
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm teaching classes, so yeah, I'll be there.
We'll bring the podcast table and everything.
Okay. That would
That's
be,
not a
got a lot
bad
of stuff to
idea.
that would be fun, man. Yeah. So
right.
That's not a bad
We should do a
idea.
podcast from there.
Absolutely.
let's talk about moving forward and growing.
Yeah.
So whatever you practice, whether it's piano tuning or moving, whatever, you're always on a plateau. You're idling, right? And the thing is, sometimes the idling makes you crazy because you're not growing. What you're doing is you're resting on what you've learned, and then what happens is then you grow again. So you're always growing, but you're going to idle or plateau. That's the same. I did martial arts for 10 years or so. And whatever your craft is, there's a great book by George Leonard called Mastery, and he talks about the people that dip their feet in and don't make it, or the person that stays on it. And the person that stays on it is you're on the plateau, and then you jump up, and then you move forward, and you go again, plateau. So you can't always just go, you're going to fall down pretty hard.
Absolutely.
Right. You got to take your time and just enjoy. Now, Jude Reveley, you're a friend of mine. I met him in 2006, and the guy was killing himself to have an 1890s concert grand at that rebuilding convention in Rochester in 2006. And he scared me to death. I'm like, you're going too fast, kid. You're going too fast. Well, he ignored me. Good for him. But I've watched him climb, and it was too fast for me.
Right.
Because that's not my pace, right? So he was doing it. And, your pace is not my pace. But what we're saying is we all have our own path, right? So follow your path, just stay on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. So the book, again, is George Leonard's Mastery. It's he's an Aikidoist, a Japanese martial art. Great book.
Is that what you practiced, Aikido?
I did. I did Tang Sudo hard style for 6 years, and then I got my
I did
second.
Dang Sudo when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, cool. I did. I got my second black, and then I did Aikido for 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I wish I would have stuck with it.
Yeah, I would have studied Aikido as a teenager. It fits my personality about receiving instead of I mean, I don't have mass like you do.
Yeah.
I don't want you to hit me. If I hit you, you're not going to feel a thing.
Is there a gnat in here?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good, because I'm not going to be able to block it.
So if this guy's coming at me and I know he's going to hit me, all I do is just move out of the way and redirect your force and take him to the ground and pin him. Like I can break
I
your.
just had surgery on my knee, so please.
No.
That sounds painful.
That's what I'm doing. So anyway, and the cool thing about Aikido is you learn to tumble and learn to fall. So we had guys that they could leap out into the got a mat and they leap out into the air and they're like flying and then they light down and they touch like a cat and off. So I wish I'd have done that.
Even with Dang Sudo, though, I think that was one of the greatest things I learned was how to fall.
Yeah.
Any martial arts, no matter what style you do,
Right.
One of the greatest things, and one of the because I never was a big fighter, I never got in a bunch of fights.
I'm not a fighter, man.
But it's one of the things that stuck with me is how to fall.
Yeah.
How to brace yourself,
Yeah,
with your arms,
yeah.
neck,
Yeah.
hands up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Neck
yeah,
tucked in.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I fall and I never hit my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the greatest things I ever
especially as a
learned.
piano mover.
I've fallen off lift gates. Oh, sure.
And stages.
Yeah, and stages. Okay. No, and any of those things.
Mike, did you push him?
that was Tony. But
that was Tony.
All sorts of stuff has happened over the years, and that has stuck with me. How to fall, and that goes right back to my karate teachings.
Oh yeah,
from a kid.
I'm so grateful for my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know where you're going to go. I joined I'm tuning pianos, and I meet this guy who's done martial arts. Guess where he takes me? To a Toastmasters meeting. Toastmasters is public speaking. Came out in the Depression, and there's all these people unemployed, and they need skills, and they need skills cheap. Well, this guy named Dr. Schmedlin put this Toastmasters together, where you could come to a place and do public speaking. So you learn how to do public speaking. So I go there. He changed my life. And I knew about it because my dad went to Toastmasters before I was even born. So Toastmasters is a great venue for anybody. You want to do public speaking and super cheap, local clubs all around you.
Huh.
And something you want to check out.
I'd do a Toastmaster right here.
I toast to Hamilton Piano Company and M&M. That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, that seems like a pretty good way to round it out.
Yeah. Well, Starr, thank you very much. man.
I had the most
thank
fun,
you.
more than everybody else here. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
thank
we
you.
had a lot of fun with you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And we can do it again.
Okay,
Not a
cool.
problem.
All right,
cool. When we do the next soundboard, where we're going to do the bearing.
Okay.
If you want to do a podcast that time too.
On a Wednesday,
Absolutely.
same time, same bat channel.
we can.
Same bat time.
All right,
same
cool.
bat channel.
Yep.
So
I'll wear different clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a
Please.
T-shirt and I'm going to have a deeper voice and I'll have more beard next time. That'd be awesome, man.
And if anybody needs a
Gi or no
technician on the West Coast, he is your guy.
Thank you
Starr
very much.
Taylor.
Yep.
And everybody, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. And
I get to plug my website.
oh yeah, absolutely.
No.
Go ahead.
www.
Not at all.
Nope.
Sorry, this Hamilton happy hour.
saintpiano.com. SAINT, saintpiano.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can they book appointments on that too?
They
Or,
cannot. I'm old school. You got to call me. Yep.
You want to give them your number or?
Oh, my phone number, 813-234-1141.
Okay.
Can they buy pianists from you?
They can.
All right.
I got a G2 for sale right now. Come see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Delivered.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Delivered.
Mike and Mike are coming to deliver the piano.
Absolutely. We will do it.
Cool, man. Been fun, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and thank you for touring the shop.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
We'll do it again. And everybody, thank you very much. We appreciate you following us and seeing us on either Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else. We have our social media content on. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
HamiltonPiano.com.
HamiltonPianoCo.com.
Code.com.
Yeah, you don't know that? Hamilton
I know it on Facebook.
HamiltonPianoCo.com. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very cool.